What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today we're back in the garage working on the car, and I want to try and get some of the little smaller things knocked out: drive shaft, CV shafts, rear brakes, maybe put the tires on. I just want to try and get like the rear end of the car completely done and ready to have it put back on the ground. In the last video, I mounted one of the tail lights with some slight modifications. I don't know if you can see that. And it fit pretty well. It seems to me like it sticks out a little bit here, but I don't actually think it is. It just looks like it to me, because I was having issues with a part on the inside. So it's not the easiest to see, but this, hold on. But this marker light right here actually pushes on the metal right here in the back. So I had to like push it in so that it wouldn't hold the tail light out, because when I was putting everything together, it was like holding the tail light out pretty far. So I think I bent it in enough that the tail light obviously stays in. But I'll show you guys what I did to this one when we put in the passenger side one. So the first thing I did after pulling the tail light out was replace this, or pull the seal off and put it on there, because the new ones didn't come with a seal, and this one's actually in really good shape. I did, however, realize that this new tail light is missing a mounting location, which I hope doesn't really affect it at all. It shouldn't. So that's what I did first. I took this out because I just reused that one, and then I will show you what I did after that. Okay, so I didn't really have anything gentle enough to cut into that without breaking it all. So what I did was, my wife had this. This is a wood carver, and when this is on and it gets hot enough, it'll just melt it away. Like, I can cut through it like super easy, knife and butter. Like, it just melts it away. Super nice, super easy, and I'll show you guys when it heats up. Okay, so it's fairly hot now, so I can just show you how it worked. So I basically just did that and melted into it. I know that this is not like the most ideal, and I shouldn't be modifying these. I should have modified the black trim piece on the car instead, which I do have to modify. I'll show you that as well. But these taillights aren't the nicest. They're not even in the greatest shape. If they were mint, you know, like A1 style friggin' taillights, like in mint condition, I wouldn't be doing this at all. I'd be preserving it, but they're all broken, chipped, cracked, glued back together. So I don't really care. Like I said, I wouldn't be doing this if it was a nice set, but since it's not, I'm just doing it. So yeah, I just basically work it down. It takes a little bit because it is just melting it. Like, I can see this piece flexing as I push on it already. And I'm not even pressing very hard, and it's just melting it. So if I had tried to cut this with anything else, it would have literally just knocked it all off. And there it goes. And then this, I just sort of, you know, I can just press it all down, wait for it to cool, and then just like break it off. Not the prettiest, but these tail lights are not the prettiest, so again, I'm not too worried about it. Okay, let's see how they fit. So I also had to remove this section here and this section here to get it to fit. And I just used a hacksaw blade. All right, both of those are removed. Now it should, so I had to open these holes up, but I think it was because it was hitting these. So I'm gonna try not to this time, and if I do, I'll have to drill these two holes open just a little bit. Well, it doesn't look like I had to open the holes up, but that is definitely not sitting as tight as that side. I hope when I bolt it down, it pulls it in. All right, tail lights are in. Both sides plugged in. This one doesn't sit as flush as this one, but I can live with that. It's not bad. The seal's on there, so I know it's sealed good. Again, I would not have marked or cut these up if they didn't have so much damage already on them. So I'm not all too worried about it. I think they look great. And that's project one done. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, I placed the CV shafts in a little while ago. They're both in, just kind of loose. There's no bolts holding it in, and that end nut is just really loose. So let's throw some nuts on it and get it installed. Got all the nuts and washers and stuff here. This is for the end links the CV shafts and the drive shaft. All right, let's get these tightened up. Time to install the drive shaft. Definitely not the easiest thing to do. Come on. Get in there. I need the light. Where is it? Being so stubborn. Go figure. It has a master spline. Alright. Oh, look at how easy that was to find. Up, line up bolts. Will get really dark because I'm blocking the light, and then I'm throwing the light, and then, oh my goodness, this is super difficult. Okay. There, now I can kind of see what I'm doing. Try not to make this fall on my face. Okay. There's one. Unfortunately, my car's in gear. Go figure. Drive shaft. Let's continue. These are definitely not tight enough, but they're snug. They're in. Everything's in. I'm gonna put my rear brakes on. Maybe I have a bolt. I have a bunch of washers and nuts and stuff here, but I don't think I have anything for that. No, I don't. And I don't know if you guys can see way down there, but my fuel filter's not in. I took it out so that I could paint the bracket, and it's drying still because I had to touch it up again today. So, all right, let's get the brakes and stuff all put together. Well, I'm sorry if that wasn't the greatest angle or shot. It's really hard to film by myself under my car while it's on jack stands. There's not a lot of room. It's really difficult to do. I'm trying my best. So I'm gonna try and get the brake rotors on, the new calipers, well, the rebuilt calipers from like umpteen years ago, and the new brake lines. Let me show you this. So about 2 weeks ago-ish, I went to a place local to me to have custom rear braided brake lines made. They told me it would only take about an hour and a half-ish. They called me literally within like an hour, and I went over to pick them up. And this is what I received. That's not braided. These are regular flex lines for the rear. So I didn't complain, I didn't do anything, I just paid for them. They did them for me pretty cheap, and I can't get new ones, so I just paid for them and left. I'd still like to get braided ones, but I know Russell makes a full braided kit for the car that I might just pick up and then replace the rear ones down the line with braided ones. But yeah, regular old flex lines is what I received. So this part's going to be really difficult to do. I'm going to remove that clip, take the flex line off, then I'm going to remove that bolt to pull the e-brake cable off, and then I'm going to remove the caliper and put the new caliper on. Okay, so rotor's on, caliper's on, e-brake's on. It looks like it's engaged a little bit, so I have to make sure my e-brake's not actually on inside the car. Flex line next. The weird thing about this caliper is I've always been under the understanding that the bleeder screws point up because that's the way the air is going to travel in the caliper, is to the top. So I have one there and then one under it pointing down. It's really hard to see. I don't know if I can get a good angle on it. No, I can't right here. It's bad angles. I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. Anywho's, they're both pointing, like one's out and one's down. So yeah, I've always been understanding that they point up. So I initially grabbed that caliper and it didn't work. So this is the way she goes. I'm going to put the pads in it now. I'm going to do the other side not on camera because it's in a more tight area than this. Like this is tight, but the other side is even more tight, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get in there to get it done. So I'm just going to put my flex lines on. Well, I give up for today. My brake pads that I apparently ordered a couple of years ago when I got all this stuff are wrong. They're not even for this car. They're for like a Mazda Speed 3 or something. I don't even know. But I'm just going to clean up. Pack it all in, and order new pads tomorrow and continue from then. All right, we're back. It's been a couple days, but I have the proper brakes now. I already put the brake clip slider thingies in. Those were a pain. Probably the hardest brakes clips thingies I've ever had to install on any brakes jobs I've ever done in my entire life. I don't know why they're so hard to get on, but we have all the proper parts now, so let's get the brakes put in. All right, we got one side together. Everything's in. Tight. Brake pads. So when I was at work the other day by the parts car, I grabbed the brake hold down bolt. It's not really necessary, but I wanted to put it on. And knew the caliper bolts off the other car. I grabbed those two just because those ones are nicer. They have all the parts, the flat washer, lock washer, everything. So this side's done. I'm gonna put the other side together and I'll catch you guys when I do. Okay, brakes are finished. They're all done, installed. Everything's good. And I also went around and tightened all of the rear suspension parts so that everything in the rear end's tight now. Now I just have to bleed the brakes. Master's full. My one front caliper I do need to change, but I can worry about that after. I want to get the rear bled and everything, and well, that's the next part. I bought this hand pump, brake bleeder, vacuum pump thing so that I could bleed these brakes. So let's get to bleeding. So here's the setup I got to bleed the brakes. Pump, cup, hose, fitting, and yeah, we're just gonna pump and see how it goes. I might not be able to do this one-handed, so I might not record it. Okay, brakes are bled, tires are on. I put the fuel filter in because it hadn't been put in, and I went and double checked all the fuel lines. They're all tight now. So now it's we're gonna put the exhaust on, and then we're gonna test the fuel system and make sure nothing leaks. I still have to go out and get gas. I'm gonna start pre-mixing. I don't think this car's ever been pre-mixed. I don't know if the OMP works or nothing, so I'm gonna start pre-mixing from here on out. And yeah, exhaust's on, and check the fuel system. All right guys, the exhaust is in, everything is in. Let's go underneath. Let's just take a quick little look. Yeah, there's all the exhaust. Everything's in. Brakes are done. Everything's tight. Exhaust is in. But I think I'm gonna leave this video here. Next video, we're gonna check the fuel system, check the exhaust, make sure everything is good and not leaking. I'm assuming the exhaust is probably gonna leak, but whatever. We'll figure that out when we get to that. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like, comment, and I'm going to leave it here, and I will catch you guys in the next video. All right, take it easy.